Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and our brothers and sisters around the world, and those joining us on TV via the internet. I thank you for joining us tonight as we pay homage to a most remarkable individual, a father, a husband, a soldier, a leader, a revolutionary, our comrade, president, a statesman, and my boss, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, the first president of our Fourth Republic. News of his death hit us like a thunderbolt. It is the kind of news that everyone can remember exactly what time, where you were, or even what you were doing at the time you heard the news. I was just arriving in Obuasi area to begin the third day of our campaign tour of the Ashanti region when the news was broken to me via a phone call. It was too shocking to be true. I made a few more calls to some close relatives to verify if the information I had was true. And alas, our worst fears were confirmed. The last time I met him at his mother's funeral, and subsequently had a telephone conversation with him after the funeral, he sounded hale and hearty and didn't appear like anybody who was going anywhere anytime soon. I later learned he had been hospitalized when I was leaving for the Ashanti region. A quick call to one of his aides reassured me that he was taking a rest and being observed by the doctors after the stress and fatigue of his mother's funeral. Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings has been an enigma all his life, and no wonder his manner of departure from this world had to be sudden and totally unexpected. Like any leader, there were those who loved him and would lay down their lives for him. There are also, unfortunately, those who disliked him with a passion. And this is already reflecting in his life's postscripts being written by many authors. Since his passing, I've seen several postscripts eulogizing him, and I've seen a few others in anguish that he passed away so peacefully. This marks the end of an era, but it's also the beginning of an era. The persona of Rawlings bestrides Ghana like a colossus. His impact on the current trajectory of our country has been immense, and it's necessary for us to find the right balance to appraise his role as the founder of Ghana's current democracy. His life was tumultuous. His life was filled with tragedy and triumphs. Death is the ultimate leveler, and we must use this occasion of his passing to bring healing to our nation. He was our comrade, and we worked with him. I called him boss, and he called me chief. He was not perfect. Neither are we perfect. We had our disagreements, and we had our joyous moments of success. Having led this country for 19 years, longer than any past leader has and ever will, his impact on where our country has come from and where it is headed cannot be understated. Let us make his death bring us together. As the longest serving head of state of our country, he was the leader of the revolution. He was a royal of Anglo. He was the husband of our former First Lady, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. He was the father of Zaneto and her siblings. And also importantly, he was the founder of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, and he was also a former president. So all these interests own the man, and these interests must come together to give him a simple but befitting farewell. What happens with our mortal remains are ephemeral. As was said by Shakespeare in the book Julius Caesar, the evil that men do lives after them, the good is often interred with their bones. For the cadres of the revolution and the members of the NDC, we must work and fight to ensure that his good is not interred with his bones, and that his positive impact on the history of this nation is preserved for posterity, and that the principles that he stood for are recounted to future generations yet unborn. Thanks to the organizers of this vigil, and may all who knew and appreciated him continue to celebrate his life. Knowing him and having worked with him, we all recognize his distaste for flamboyance, pomp, and pageantry. Let our party, therefore, NDC, the government, his family, and the Anglo state work together to celebrate his life and use his passing as an occasion for healing this nation and bringing us together again as one people with one nation and one destiny. These flaming candles we hold in our hands are symbolic of the good fight he fought. He struggled for us to remain together. His was a life well lived. Boss, your death is not an end, but a mark of new beginnings. Indeed, as you said, and I quote, we owe a sacred duty to Ghana to serve her people and help to achieve our legitimate aspirations. The worst crime is to abuse the trust reposed in us and thus destroy the hope of our people that the sacrifices we make will yield a better future for all of us. Quotations closed. Walk on. Stay well, brave soldier, senior comrade. Walk on. We're grateful for your life. We thank God for giving you to Ghana. May you rest in perfect peace, and may the flame you lit in Ghana continue to burn forever and ever.